Wakefield Park Track Days. These track days provide opportunities for motoring enthusiasts to test the capabilities of their vehicles under controlled conditions on Wakefield Park's track. It's open to all types of cars, and sessions include open wheelers, race cars, street cars, supercars, and driver training is available. There's heaps of amenities on site for a great day out, and group bookings are available. Head to the Wakefield Park website for more information.
Facebook isn't the only place that you can support Australian grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV. To see more real race cars, more live events, and more of the racing you love, subscribe to the Blendline TV YouTube channel, sign up to our mailing list, or bookmark and subscribe to our website at blendline.tv. Thanks for continuing to support grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV.
Wakefield Park Track Days. These track days provide opportunities for motoring enthusiasts to test the capabilities of their vehicles under controlled conditions on Wakefield Park's track. It's open to all types of cars, and sessions include open wheelers, race cars, street cars, supercars, and driver training is available. There's heaps of amenities on site for a great day out, and group bookings are available. Head to the Wakefield Park website for more information.
Facebook isn't the only place that you can support Australian grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV. To see more real race cars, more live events, and more of the racing you love, subscribe to the Blendline TV YouTube channel, sign up to our mailing list, or bookmark and subscribe to our website at blendline.tv. Thanks for continuing to support grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV.
Cars are now on track for the final race for the weekend for the Precision International National Sports Sedans Championship Series, and it's also the third race for the Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedan Championship. Of course, this round brought to you by Astor Hotel in beautiful downtown Goulburn. Dan Beckinsale's with me for this one, and well, we've had a little bit of drama in the lead up to this. We've had a couple of cars that won't be making the grid. Certainly Thomas Randall won't be there. They've had a gearbox or an input shaft failure on that car. Nick Smith we've seen pulled up with what we believe was an oil sensor issue, but didn't lose any oil pressure, so hopefully they've been able to carry on with that. Scott Cameron pulled out with both axles broken on that car, would you believe it?
Really?
Both axles, right in and near the spine as well. And we've seen Chris Jackson turned around the wrong way on the opening lap at turn 2, spun on his own, and the flat battery wouldn't allow him to start. If he had the battery, he would have been able to get going and going in. The only one that we didn't catch up with Dave Aiken, the Kumo tyre man himself, but we've seen that car pulled off the track as well. Drive-through penalties for Beryl Chetton and also for Andre Heimgartner for overlapping on the restart. Unfortunately, Billy didn't do his within the required 3 laps or whatever it was, so he got pushed back a little bit further as well. So coming from the back of the field, keep an eye on those particular cars. So we did see some great performances in that last race, where won by Steve Tomasi, who now leads the championship, obviously, ahead of Steve Lacey, who was second, Brad Shields third, Stuart Inwood fourth, Michael Robinson, Daniel Nolan, Tim Tritton, Shane Bradford from the back of the field all the way up to 8 did a really good job. Simon Copping and Heimgartner got back to 10th spot. Phil Ryan, the best of the Division 2 guys, in 11 from Smith, Harwood, Woodman, who they had some issues with their paddle shifting, but they're slowly getting on top of that, and I think they're using this more of a test session than anything else.
I tell you what, everybody who's here this weekend has got their value for the price of admission at the gate just from Sports Sedans alone, you'd have to say, in 2 races. It's a pity that Randall won't be out there for this final one of the weekend. Unfortunately, though, fortunately for Tomasi, that hands him the opportunity to open up a pretty comfortable lead at the top of the National Sports Sedans Championship. Should he be able to bring it home in this one, you'd have to think that Steve Lacey and Brad Shields smell an opportunity here.
Well, certainly Steve Lacey will. He was ecstatic to find that he'd got into second position. Here he is on the front row on the outside, on the grippier side of the circuit, we have to say. But he won't have the horsepower of that car on the inside. That's the only difference there. Keep an eye on Brad Shields in the Fiat on the second row. 13B rotary turbo-powered car, and it's been phenomenally quick in the state championship. And it was a mighty effort for Lacey to actually get past him.
So go now, lights are out, here we go. Tomasi leads into turn 1. Shields has managed to get past behind, and then we've got the rest of the field coming in. Tritton right up behind Robinson. Heimgartner's going around the outside in the Duggan Aston Martin, the red car you can see flying up the hill. And there's Nick Smith on the outside of Theo Camburis. Oh, he's actually pulled out of that one. He decided that it was a better opportunity just to hold off for a second.
He just wants to finish a race. That's all he's concerned about at the moment.
And we just want to see him finish one, don't we?
Yeah, Nolan there in the RX-7, being chased by Heimgartner. The next one through, Bradford behind him. Then it's Copping in the former Perkins Engineering Holden Commodore VZ. Follows him through as well. Now Heimgartner already another spot up. Inwood, the next target in his sights to try and get that spot away. But
Shields is on the back of Tomasi here.
Tomasi, Shields, Lacey, the top 3 going through there. Bradford pulls out to try and go under 1 as well. It would just watch Heimgartner down the straight here. He should have the needles to get past. Oh, a lot of smoke lock up there from Tomasi, it seems, going into turn 1.
As Heimgartner closes on the rear of Tritton. Tomasi's still on track though, pushing hard to open up the gap. There's Shields, Lacey's next, Robinson. Heimgartner's through on Tritton, and he has got in behind him the Corvette of Inwood.
Got his sight sets on at least trying to get 1 victory for the Aston Martin this weekend, and for the Mark Duggan team that have trying to lift the profile of sports sedans, particularly in New South Wales, by bringing in a gun driver like that. And certainly it's created a lot of interest spectator-wise.
It definitely has, but I think sports sedans themselves have also created that interest this weekend. We've seen some fantastic racing. Here goes Heimgartner to the inside. He'll make the move on Robinson. Robinson leaves him plenty of room. He's not too worried, I don't think, about fighting that one too hard. And the Duggan Aston Martin, of course, we've seen this car win national championships previously. A lot of witches hats all over the road there, so I'd say off the start somebody has actually made
a bit wide.
Yeah, made a bit of contact with those.
Yeah. The interesting thing here is that in the earlier race, Heimgartner made such a great start that when Steve Lacey said he looked up the mirrors, he's seen the Astor behind, he thought, wow, where did he come from? He was 11th on the grid, and he's now 4th or 5th behind me.
Yeah.
And he's going to look up in a minute, and he's going to see that Aston Martin there again.
Here's Inwood on the back of Tritton. Still, these two have not been separated by much all weekend. Of course, had Cameron with them the whole weekend as well. I think I saw somebody stopped on the run down the hill. Not sure. We'll have to see if we can pick that up as now Heimgartner looks to the inside of Lacey.
Look at the difference in power between the Aston Martin and the Chef Camaro. Now that moves him up to third position, just 2 to go. Although Tomasi has a pretty strong lead at this stage, so you would expect that he could probably get the Shields, but will he have enough? And look at this in the background. Still this battle goes on between Inwood, Trenton and Bradford, starting to close in on the pair of them as well.
Inwood's made the move there at the final corner to be able to get past, so we'll see if he can open up the gap now. It looks like Trenton's lost a fair bit of ground down the straight, and he'll fall into the clutches of Bradford behind in that Aston Air Camaro. Of course, throwing back to a Trans Am livery on that one, absolutely immaculately presented. Looks like the Hot Wheels livery from mid-70s, I think it was.
Oh, mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
Yeah, well, that car was built by Riley Scott in America, so it was originally built in those colour schemes, so
there you go.
That's why it's so well known. And there's second position going to Heimgartner as they go through turn 10. Just one to get to now, our race leader.
We'll keep an eye on that as he continues on. Here we go. This is a great shot. See the speed of the sports stands down the straight. Let's take it all in as they come past.
We'll just see what sort of lap times they're doing as well. Heimgartner obviously the quickest, at 57.7 on that lap. Lap 4, of course we're on the 5th lap as we speak.
Woodman and Copping weren't separated by much as they came past the screen. Here's Nick Smith following Chris Jackson through. So they've made their way through on the Harwood GTR.
They both started rear of grid, so
yep.
they're both making up position. Jackson being the trailblazer and Smith quite content to follow him through.
Nick Smith's car is hard to pick up with just your eyes normally, and now have a look at it on the camera. The camera itself doesn't know what Gallo yellow to pick up. It's just like if someone's dumped a highlighter over the top of it, isn't it?
They're Dayglow yellow or Dayglow green.
He won't be able to run away on the night races. They've closed. Birrell Chetton's made up a few positions as well. They're up behind Smith now in the Monaro, the second Monaro that we have out there this weekend. And then just in front of them is Philip Ryan, Division 2 car.
Very different from the Robertson car.
Yeah.
The engine sits right back next to the driver in this car. In the Robertson car, it's actually in front of the driver, so different thought and technology in it. Smith does get past Jackson, takes that position away, and now we'll concentrate on trying to move himself further up the grid. That car we know has got great potential. It's just that the reliability factor is just weighing against them just at the moment. Look at him run up the inside of Colin Smith going up the hill, takes yet another spot away, and Phil Ryan will be the next one in that. That's a 260Z with LS engine in it, and it's our, well, in New South Wales at least, a leading Division 2 car. I think it's about the only one in the field, isn't it?
He's had a few good seasons in that car. Usually he battles against William Furcher in another Monaro, an immaculately presented Monaro that looks almost like a throwback to the 24-hour Monaros from Gary Rogers Motorsport. But this weekend not here, so he's missing out. Of course, this weekend proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel Motel. We can't thank them enough for their support. Make sure to get down to the Astor and support the guys who are looking after grassroots motorsport. They put a lot into the Goulburn economy and looking after everybody who comes down here and stays. If you're doing a track day or a race day at Wakefield Park, make sure to book into the Astor. Tell them you saw it on Blendline TV and thank them for supporting New South Wales and national sports sedans here at Wakefield Park this weekend as we see the Landell Signs BMW of Shane Woodman. This thing is a beautiful piece of kit and it's flaming out both sides of the car. If you like to see flames, that is one to watch. Look at that, every downshift you see a pop of flame out the back of it. Hopefully we'll be able to see him get a big flame out into the final corner.
We've got 1.4 seconds between first and second, and Heimgartner's just done a 56.75.
Yeah, he's on.
So that car is blistering quick at the moment, and I guess getting to Tamasi will be one thing, but getting past him might be another thing. But we're on lap 8 at the moment as we see all this action going on further down the field. There goes Woodman past Copping, gets that job done, and flames out the sides through turn 2, heads up the hill, chasing the number 71 Nissan.
So this is the battle for 6th through 10th place in the race, 11th place. 10th place, sorry, I'll count the cars and go again. Nolan in the RX-7 up behind Tritton, who's managed to stay with Broadford. Inwards managed to get himself out of this group. It looks like Nolan uses 2 wheels on the grass to get to the inside of Tritton. He's got fluid coming out the rear of the car, though, on the run down the hill. I'm not sure that it's entirely legal to make a move with 2 wheels on the grass on the inside, is it? Who knows?
Well, if they run you off the road, it is. But if you're just doing that anyway. Now he's trying to make a move to get past Tritton, and that, if he does make that move happen, that will put him up into about position 9 inside the top 10. But still, it's great battle going on up the front. 1.1 seconds the gap. And
Woodman to the inside, gets past Nolan. Nolan's going to switch back and try to get the run up the hill. No, he doesn't. Yes, our 2 leaders, though, are Linus, and Heimgartner's only going to have a couple of laps to be able to throw something here. I think there's only going to be, 4 laps left in it right now. 3 laps when they cross the line.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. The 2 of them are together down into turn 2, I think, so we'll be able to see them coming on the run up the hill, you would expect.
And their times have been fairly similar at the moment. They've dropped off a bit into the 59s now. But that could be because the tyres are starting to go off a bit. But it's been a great fight, and it's a great fight now to go down to the line. Steve Tomasi in front, Andre Heimgartner in second. They've got 12 seconds, and there's less than a second between them. You can see that. Very close. Colin Swift lets them both go through, and now heads down towards turn 10. This will be the completion of the 10th lap. There'll be just 2 to go after this, and can Heimgartner pull off a win for the Duggan Family Hotels Aston Martin, Chev powered, of course. Chev Power in the front leading car as well.
We've seen some great battles here at Wakefield Park for the National Sports Sedans over the last couple of seasons. Of course, Randall and Ricciardello going toe-to-toe stands out on that list.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this. Oh, Tomasi sliding. They're up behind Cameron. Cameron is not a slow car by any stretch of the imagination, but he's forced to get out of the way. Tomasi sliding. Heimgartner shows the nose and doesn't quite get there.
Well, I think he's been fairly respectful, because I don't know if Heimgartner will do the whole championship, so you don't want to ruin it for someone else if you can. If you can get past clean, he'll do it. If you can't, he'll just probably settle in behind. But we are approaching the last lap of this. There won't be that many opportunities. No. And certainly we know from the past that the Calibre is very strong in a straight line.
Tomasi's going to do everything he can here to hold on. I think he's only going to have one more lap to do that. Not very far to go. The last lap board comes out. You can see it on the screen there. They flash under our camera point on the main straight. They've got traffic to deal with. He's got a V8 supercar driver behind him, and Tomasi with everything to do now in the Calibre. He gets past Philip Ryan. They leave plenty of room. Heimgartner right up behind him across the top. He takes a bit of curb, something you don't usually see in sports sedans. That shows the pressure that he's under.
Well, it just shows you too that the supercar driver does know how to do it. Has he done it?
He's made it work. Tomasi on the grass. He had a little bit of a slide down the hill, and Heimgartner seized the opportunity on the final lap. What can Tomasi do into the final corner? You'd have to say he's going to show the nose. He's been able to get the run previously. No, he's got to slide onto the back straight. He won't be able to do anything from here. The Duggan Family Hotel car is going to be able to bring it home for a victory. What a drive through the field.
What a been up and down weekend for Andre Heimgartner with pit stops and penalties, and now finally gets a win. Steve Tomasi, however, will win the round, so they'll be more than tickled with the way that performance has gone.
Brad Shields, third place.
Will take in third place and be the winner of the New South Wales part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll make Joe Say very happy.
He will. That's what they're after this year, the New South Wales title, and to be able to bring that home. Steve Lacey bringing it home in 4th place. Looks like Inwood's going to cross the line in 5th.
And then after that, it should be Michael Robinson.
Yep.
Shane Bradford's done another good job considering he missed the first race. Here he comes onto the straight in the background there.
Leading
and
Woodman and Smith.
Well, Shane Woodman he's raced against on many occasions. Nick Smith up to 9. Tim Tritton rounds out our top 10. What a round of sports sedans brought to you by Precision International. Of course, Kumo Tyres bringing you the New South Wales version of it, and of course they all run on Kumo Tyres. And the Astor Hotel, we can't thank them enough for what they've been allowed us to do this weekend.
I think it's time for us all to head to the Astor Hotel and have a few drinks, have a meal, have a chat about the exceptional racing that we've seen today. The thrilling finish between Heimgartner and Tomasi results again on screen. Tomasi unlucky not to bring it home. Brad Shields in 3rd place, Steve Lacey 4th, Stuart Inwood, Michael Robinson, Shane Broadford, Shane Woodman, Nick Smith with an absolutely astounding drive through the field. He will be happy with that and may well be able to put a smile back on his dial after a tough day yesterday. Timothy Tritton rounding out the top 10 in his first time out in the Honda Prelude with the Precision International National Sports Sedans Series. If you'd like to know more about the championship and where they're heading, make sure to check out their website and Facebook pages. Of course, check out the Kumo Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans as well for more information on their season. We hope you've enjoyed it all here from Wakefield Park on Blendline TV. We've loved bringing the action. Until next time, bye for now. Wakefield Park Track Days. These track days provide opportunities for motoring enthusiasts to test the capabilities of their vehicles under controlled conditions on Wakefield Park's track. It's open to all types of cars and sessions include open wheelers, race cars, street cars, supercarts and driver training is available. There's heaps of amenities on site for a great day out and group bookings are available. Head to the Wakefield Park website for more information.
Facebook isn't the only place that you can support Australian grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV. To see more real race cars, more live events, and more of the racing you love, subscribe to the Blendline TV YouTube channel, sign up to our mailing list, or bookmark and subscribe to our website at blendline.tv. Thanks for continuing to support grassroots motorsport with Blendline TV.